Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I turned this boring, old, beaten up mirror into this beautiful crystal masterpiece. So if you're interested on knowing how I did that, just keep watching. First off, I'd like to apologize on behalf of my stupidity and being a bad YouTuber. Unfortunately, I was dumb enough to not record the mirror before I started painting, so I missed the opportunity to show the scratches and how beaten up it was because I'm stupid. The only clip that I really have of this mirror is from when I was trying on some leggings that I ordered from Gymshark, so I'd like to apologize for not recording the mirror beforehand, and I promise to do better. So my first official clip that I have of this mirror basically shows my setup and how I have plastic lined on the floor to prevent any paint from getting anywhere, and along the walls as well, and the mirror with one coat of paint already on it, and how I covered the mirror with wrapping paper because I couldn't remove it from its frame. It was just way too difficult and I couldn't get it off. So instead what I did was I pushed the wrapping paper in between the frame of the mirror and the glass itself, so that way I could prevent getting any paint on the mirror when I was painting the corners. So the paint that I'm using is from Bear in the color white. It's a paint and a primer in one, and my dad just had it sitting around the house, so I decided to use it. And using a tiny paintbrush, I'm going to just be painting the mirror. I let the paint sit for approximately 2 hours to dry, and then after that I come back and I make sure that I rotate the mirror so that way I can touch up any spots that I possibly missed and continue to go over the entire mirror with another coat of paint so that way the pre-existing color of the mirror doesn't peek through. So at this point, I had already let the mirror dry for another 2 hours. I was pretty satisfied with the amount of coats that I put on the mirror already. Over here, I was just going over some spots that I think needed some more touching up. That's why you can see the mirror on the floor at one point. After that, I left the spots that I touched up to dry for another 2 hours. Now that the frame of the mirror is completely dry, I've moved it to my floor where I began taking measurements to measure how much ribbon I would need. The materials I'll be using are 3 rolls of ribbon and glue. I am using a decorative rhinestone mesh that I picked up at my local Dollarama for approximately $2. bottle of clear E6000 glue that I picked up from Michael's for about $8. So I initially measured my mirror so that way I could know approximately how many rolls I would need to cover the entire surface of the mirror, because I didn't want to run into the case where I didn't have enough to cover. So what I'm doing now is just unraveling the decorative rhinestone mesh and laying it on top of the frame of the mirror and cutting it up to where I want it to stop. Sometimes you'll run into this little problem where you can see bits of string on the very edges of the decorative rhinestone mesh. These can easily be cut off with a pair of scissors, so just grab your scissors and snip them off. Sometimes your ribbon may be too short. What you can do is just grab another piece of ribbon and join it together, and cut off what you need in order to join them together and complete the length of that side. So sometimes the trim can actually fold over on itself in the packaging, but this usually isn't a problem because once you glue it down, it's going to stay down flat. But then there are situations where things like this happen. This edge of the trim is, I don't know, brown. It looks like it's burnt or something. I still have another roll of trim, so I'm going to use this roll for this section to cut here. Like I said, again, this isn't a big deal because once we put glue on it, it's gonna stay in place, but that isn't cute. Instead of just cutting this part out and then using the leftover trim that I have here, I'm just gonna use this roll and work from there. Once I have my ribbon all laid out across the frame of the mirror, I'm gonna go in with my E6000 glue and evenly spread the glue across the frame and lay the ribbon on top of the glue and pushing it down into place. After a while, I noticed that pushing the ribbon down with my fingers was getting a lot of glue all over my hands, so I ended up using the back of the roll of the decorative mesh to push the ribbon down and to push it onto the glue instead of using my fingers. Once I finished gluing down the rest of the ribbon onto the frame, I noticed that I still had a little bit of frame left over that I wanted to cover. So I ended up cutting the ribbon into a strip and basically laying it down all over the entire frame and basically repeating the same steps that I did before, just lining them up together, cutting, and placing them on the frame. I found it a lot easier to glue the strips in pieces rather than one long length of a ribbon sometimes. It just made it easier for me. So I let the glue dry for about an hour or 2 hours after I finished gluing all of the ribbon down, and then using my utility knife, I removed the wrapping paper off of the edges of the mirror. I noticed that some of the edges got stuck to the wrapping paper because the paint dried the paper together with the wood. So I ended up using my utility knife just to cut the paper along the edge of the wood to free it and remove the wrapping paper and uncover the mirror. Once all your wrapping paper is removed, you can go ahead and wipe your mirror down, and there you have it, a beautiful crystallized mirror for probably a fraction of the price it would cost you to buy one. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching my little DIY project. If you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!